I'm very passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one that you had envisioned for yourself. But time time marches on. What else are you going to do? Um, I actually usually like talking about upbeat things on Monday because I like to start my week out on an upbeat note. But a friend of mine messaged me last night and asked me to pray for his family because his mother in law was about to pass. And, we all lose people. It's hard. It's so hard. And I don't expect him to watch this because I know they're up to their eyeballs in all kinds of stuff. Um, but I had thought about talking about this closer to the beginning of the year, and I just put it off because there's just not a fun topic. But I know he's not the only person. I've seen so much loss coming across my timeline lately. So let's talk about some tips on how to deal with grief. Number one, you got to pray for strength. This is one of the hardest things that we have to face in our lives. And it's something that we all have to face. There's no getting around it. Prayer, at least in my experience, it goes a really long way for soothing your soul. Um, when I'm really stressed, especially when I'm grieving, I pray for strength and for grace. Number two, let it out. Your life has just changed forever in a really impossible to comprehend way. I mean, everything in your world is going to be different now. You're dealing with some really intense emotions. Expressing them is healthy. You don't want to try to suppress this stuff. Cry if you need to. We get this weird thing about crying in our society, especially for men. But there's nothing wrong, especially when you've lost somebody that you love. There's nothing wrong with crying. Now, that being said, some people don't cry when they grieve. And you know what? That's okay too. This is it's weird because this is both a completely universal experience, but it's also an intensely personal one. And just because that person cries doesn't mean you're going to. And if you don't, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just how you're processing it. Number three, journal. It's such a healthy way, in my opinion, to process emotions. I try to stay positive. When I'm dealing with a lot, I like to get all of my uncomfortable, unpleasant emotions out first. But then just to shift gears for myself mentally, I like to finish any journal entry that's unpleasant. I like to finish it with three things that I'm grateful for. And gratitude is a really good thing to focus on while you're grieving. Number four, avoid isolation. For those of us who have chronic illnesses, this is already an issue. I was just talking to a friend, I think it was yesterday. Anyway, it was recently. It's actually my mentor. And he pointed out that I'm almost too comfortable being alone. I can completely isolate myself. It doesn't bother me really very much at all. But we're social beings. I don't care how much of an introvert you are, we're still social beings. And when you're dealing with this type of thing, it's so intense. You need to get out of your house. You need to let the people who love you let them support you right now. Reminisce. It's hard. Yeah, you're going to go through all kinds of emotions, but reminiscing is really healing, and you'll laugh through the tears. um, as freaking weird as I know this sounds, but after my aunt passed and after my mom passed, some of the best times that we had, um, I mean, certainly we'd rather have our loved ones back, but it was really nice to reminisce. Give me a second. It's healthy. Number five, stay busy. Fill your time. Do something that you love. Do something just because it makes you happy. Try new things, but don't wallow in it. It's for me anyway. That's the inclination is to just wallow in it. But don't. You got to keep your mind busy. Number 6, excuse me. And this one's going to sound really crazy while you're reading, but set simple goals daily. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes every day. Weekly, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week. I guess that's not daily then. So daily would be I'm going to walk 30 minutes today. Weekly, I'm going to walk 30 minutes 3 times this week. You want to keep it very simple. You want to keep it something that is very achievable. If you're struggling, start with basics that you know you're going to do and write it down. I'm going to brush my teeth tomorrow. Why? Because when you get to cross that stuff off of your to-do list, it's going to, I know it's silly, but it's going to actually help you feel better. Yes, even the little tiny things, even the things like brushing your teeth that you're going to do anyway, at least I hope you're going to do anyway. But that sense of accomplishment, it gives you a little positive, uplifting feeling, and you need that right now. Number 7, live in the moment. The past is gone. You can't change anything. All the woulda, shoulda, couldas, it's natural, but you can't get stuck there. Find something to appreciate in the moment. Sunshine, flowers, music, whatever speaks to your soul. Get outside, go for a walk, get some fresh air, obviously weather permitting. But these simple things, take a bubble bath, get a hug from your kid, read a book to your kid. These simple things will really soothe your soul if you allow them to. Number 8, be good to yourself. This is really important. Find simple ways to appreciate and love who you are. Maybe you're like me and you love shoes. You know what? Then go ahead and buy a pair of shoes. Go get a massage. Go out to dinner. Go to your favorite restaurant. Go out to dinner. Have a spa day. Go to the range. Do something. Just do something that makes you happy. Pick up a new hobby or revisit an old one. I know what you're thinking, but you want to do something that requires some focused attention. The creativity is going to stimulate the feel-good hormones in your brain. You know what else does that? Exercise. When my aunt passed, it didn't happen so much when mom passed because that was a lot more expected. I mean, not that it was easier, but it was just more expected. But when my aunt passed, and at the time that was the biggest loss I'd ever faced, um, I would be exercising and I just all of a sudden drop to the floor just in a puddle of tears. And since I exercise at home, I'd finish crying and I'd get myself up and I'd dust myself off and I'd rewind my video and I'd go back to it. But that exercise, at least for me, it did give me something to focus my attention on. It's something that just makes me really happy. And it let me get caught up in the moment instead of being so overwhelmed with the grief. Number 9, treasure the memories. When you're ready, and it may not be for a while, and that's okay. It really is. When you're ready, go through the things. Oh, I've been missing my mom, so maybe this wasn't the best idea for tonight. Go through the things that bring back memories, photos, um, mementos. I don't know what you guys keep, but something that's going to jar memories so you can do a little more reminiscing. When my aunt passed, it was recipes. It was recipes. My aunt was an incredible home cook, home chef. Actually, she's pretty damn good. So going through her recipes with my mom, it's going through old notes that she gave me. Those things, they touch my heart. They make me feel connected. Be grateful for those good times. Again, gratitude's your best friend right now. As much as it sucks losing somebody you love, would you have rather not had any of those good times? I mean, really? I wouldn't trade the good times for anything. Yeah, this wasn't a very good idea tonight. 10, spend time with your loved ones because you need to remember that you are loved. You need to allow the people who care about you, you need to allow them to support you. Plus, you know what? They're probably grieving as well. And if you can spend time, especially with other people who are impacted by the loss, if they're people that you're comfortable with and you trust, it's probably going to help you face and start working through all these emotions that you're going to have to process, that you're going to have to express one way or another. Plus, it'll help you stay busy if you spend time with your loved ones. You need to know the pain eases, it doesn't go away, but it changes, it dulls. And you just learn to live with it because you don't have any choice. It's just part of life. Anyway, that's all I have. Um, I don't even know what else to say except I'll be back Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central. If you've lost somebody, I seriously, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that you have a support system that you can lean on. Y'all take care. See you Wednesday. Thanks.